Hello everybody, Adam Driskell here. Today I'm going to be looking at and reacting to Born of Osiris' new track, White Nile. I used to be a massive Born of Osiris fan for their first two albums or so, but since then I've kind of fallen off and I've only listened to Dance Gavin Dance for the past 5 years. I've listened to some of Born of Osiris's tracks from recent albums, and I've always enjoyed the production quality because it somehow gets better every single time. They've gone in more of a different direction than what I'm used to with doing intro, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro type of stuff. So I'm curious to see if they're going to keep to that more pop form of writing, or if they're just going to do something different, do something a little bit progressive. We'll just have to see. Let's hop in. I love the intro. Intro's great. Ooh. I love the synth work. I've always loved the synth work. Man, this hit's heavy, man. Wasn't expecting the breakdown. That's cool. Oh, the choir in the background is cool. The piano and bells are so cool. Why aren't those up in the mix higher? Man. The freaking guitar tone is so freaking crunchy. Vocals are really good too. Woo! Nice. Again, the really subtle keyboard work in the background. The drumming is so freaking cool and subtle. I love all the subtle drumming in it. So I guess this is the chorus. Interesting, there's been no clean singing yet. Oh. Alright, hit me, brass. Hit me. So it's so good. Yeah! This has got me chicken bobbing. Oh, the I love those breakdowns. Man, this is more back to the roots. There hasn't been any insane sweet picking yet, but... Oh, okay. Ooh, melodic solo. Good songwriting choice. Ooh. Yeah. This is really cool. This did the song a lot of musical favors, so I'll talk about it later. Wow. Love it. Very tasty and open. Then you go back to the heavy technical part. Really good songwriting. Really good. Oh, love them. Harmonic minor scales. Song ended very abruptly though. So wow. That was my first time listening to it. Let's just let's talk about the different components that stood out to me. the first thing I'm going to mention is the overall production itself. Did everything fit well together? Was there anything like weird or out of place? The answer to that is no. And in fact, if anything, they went maybe even too much. I played it maybe even a little bit too safe. And the reason why I say that is because their keyboardist is really cool. He's extremely talented, and he adds all this really cool ambiance to their music. But I wish that his parts were pulled up in the mix higher, especially the bells, choir, and piano stuff that he was doing. His string patch was really cool sounding, and I wanted to talk about that as well. It wasn't just like a simple, everyday, normal strings patch. It was like a throwback strings patch. It almost sounded like a saw wave or a square wave that had strings elements on top of it. So you kind of had this idea that it was a strings like patch, but it had this really like cool like 80s vibe to it that I really liked. It was like super cool that at least for that part that was like really listenable, high in the mix, so you can like really notice it. So if I were to change anything about the overall production, it would just be to increase the keys just a little bit more. Again, that's personal taste. I like keyboards high in the mix, even if that means sacrificing some of the like electric guitar work. So that's just me personally. The electric guitars, let's talk about them next. Punchy, thick, sounded amazing. They had this really wide stereo image that was like amazing. The ambient parts were really cool. Especially like if you notice throughout the whole song, there was really cool stuff going on left ear and right ear and ambience that was also like thrown back into the void of the mix a little bit. But it's really cool. It adds flavor to their music. I think that's a big reason why Born of Osiris has stayed relevant for as long as they have. It's because they can add these nuances to their music that isn't just a chug fest. Chug fests are fun, but it's when you add like subtle melodies on top of that, especially when, like in this song, there is no clean singing. So you need to have something to counterbalance that. You need that melody, right? And in this case, the melody came from riffing, and it also came from subtle background work. So if you're like a songwriter, that's a really good takeaway from this as well. Vocals, okay, let's talk about vocals next. Vocals were really good. There's a lot of layering, of course, but in this genre of music, you're going to layer your vocals. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. For me, when I do my false chord screaming, I layer as well. Even if I do clean singing, I layer clean singing. It's like there's nothing wrong with that. It's not cheating. You do what you have to do to make a really good song, and you don't care when you're listening to it. But yeah, just really good. It fit the song perfectly. I especially love it when their when their keyboardist screams as well, and I'm happy that he got his moment as well to do that. Honestly, I know I'm maybe a little bit crazy about this, but I genuinely like clean singing, and I like cleaning, or I like cleaning. I like cleaning vocals. I like clean singing, and I like singing with compression as well. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the grit when you clean sing. So like if if like a scream is like this, that's a false chord scream. A clean singing would be like ah, and then singing with grit is like this. I really like their singing with grit because I forget if it's their lead vocalist or their keyboardist who does it, but he's really freaking good at it, and like it doesn't take the edge away from his music when he adds that like type of grit and tone to his vocals. I kind of miss that a little bit. I wish there was at least maybe like one place where maybe it was just like in the background or something. They could throw like a lot of reverb on it. They can make it not not like the main thing, but they could have added it as a background effect, like similar to what they did with the electric guitars, ambience, and the keyboard ambience. So I think that would be like another way, maybe that the mix could have been enhanced a little bit. The final thing I want to talk about is the electric guitar solos. This was a brilliant move. Okay, so up through that, like, I'll call it a bridge of solos. So up until that time is just really heavy. You got the ambience going on in the background. You had what I thought was a chorus with like the strings, like that throwback string sound I was talking about. After all that was happening, and it's like really heavy, it's in your face, you know, you're headbanging the whole time, it's cool. There's no room for the song to breathe at this point, and it's so important, like even in deathcore music or like heavy gent music, to have this space for your song. And they made a very good decision to go into this bridge section. The bridge section was still heavy, but it wasn't as heavy as it was like during the times where there were vocals, right? When the first solo came in, I was very honestly shocked because I thought it was going to be a lot of sweeping or a lot of like shredding. I thought it was just going to be more of like a show-offy type of thing, but it wasn't. It was very musical. It brought melody and openness to a song that really, 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 really needed it. And to be honest, I thought there was only going to be one solo, but then we get surprised with a second solo, and that was like really cool too. I thought the second solo was going to be more flashy, but it wasn't. It was just their two electric guitar players playing some beautiful stuff together, and like towards the end of that bridge section where they're doing like the melodic harmony stuff, that was super great. It's what the song needed, and they did it perfectly. I was super happy that they made that choice instead of just like sweet picking, madness, technicality, because songs need to breathe, and they did a very good job of doing that. Overall, I'd say out of 10, is this like my favorite Born of Osiris song I've ever heard? No, not really. but does it have amazing production? Yes, it does. Tasteful songwriting? Yes, it does. Everything has its place. I would say 7 or 8 is like really good. It didn't blow me out of the water, but I could definitely go back and re-listen to this song a lot more times, and I think there's a lot of qualities to this song that I missed. Of course, they were first and foremost like a progressive gent band, and so they have other things in their music that I think is hard to pick up on one listen through, obviously. So I think the song can take me back, and I can learn more from it, other than just one reaction, of course. Okay. Thank you guys for listening. I really and watching. I really appreciate it. If you're really enjoying the content, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the sub button, make sure you hit the bell button, and make sure you hit the Patreon link below. I do have a Patreon for all those inclined. There are some cool like super subscriber perks over there. And comment below if you want me to do any song in particular. I am not opposed to doing non-metal music as well. So if you have any cool like non-metal music, that's cool. Hit me up. If you have metal music, that's awesome as well. Hit me up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Thank you.